Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
And the Leafs win 3-0, and we're tied 1-1. They penetrated. There was no BJ that could stop the penetration that the Leafs gave to them tonight, this afternoon.
No, they went hard at those BJs, man. Harder than I've ever seen them. Harder. Man, like, how hard did they play today? Like, honestly. Where's this team, man? If they could just do this every night.
Yeah, where was that? Where was that the other day? Where was that? Honestly,
Maybe
Columbus didn't even – there were stretches of 5, 6, 7 minutes where Columbus didn't even get into the Leaf zone. Like, they basically got to the neutral zone and then dumped in the puck and left.
Dude, 100%.
It was great.
Like, maybe, like, it's a maturity thing. Like, I don't really know, right? Like, are they just starting to, like – we were disappointed that they didn't win game one, but they didn't play really that bad. They lost 1-0, really. So is it a mature, like, they could have won that game. Bounce here, bounce there. They could have, Matthew scores. They could have won game one. They could be up 2-0 right now. I was not sure what team was going to show up this afternoon, but man, I was like, from the puck drop until the end of the fucking final buzzer, it was like, dude, they controlled the whole fucking thing from start to finish. It was all fucking Leafs.
They did. And the last 10 minutes, I felt like they kind of got a little sloppy. They took some penalties, but for the most part, they held it. They held the pedal to the metal from puck drop right to the end of the game. And you know what I love about that? The second they got the 1-goal lead, Columbus all of a sudden had to start playing offense. And then their D started pinching and started opening up, and all of a sudden it works to the Leafs' favor. There's 2-on-1s, there's breakaways. JT scores on a breakaway. You don't get that breakaway if it's 0-0. You don't get it
100%.
because Columbus doesn't pinch. They play tight defense.
You're right. And didn't one of their blue – okay, well, let's just go right into it, man. Didn't one of their blue liners go down too? That Clifford hit? Was that one of their – he came back, actually, I think, anyway.
He had to go to the quiet room for a bit. What a hit. Our buddy Stu sent us a comment on Instagram, and he was bang on. Like, that hit was glorious.
Sheldon played the fourth line a lot more today than he did the other night. I like the injection of Engvall. I just think he didn't, like, have a great game, but I just think he brings more speed. And just overall, the fourth line was more engaged. They literally saw the ice for 3 minutes in the first game. Tonight, for sure, somewhere between, I don't know, they were, I don't know. Do you know how long they were on the ice for? Maybe 7 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, I don't have the stats in front of me, but
it would probably be around there.
It was definitely a lot more. I didn't even notice them in game one, but I get it. They were trying to score a goal.
No, I know.
So
no, I get that too, But even before they had scored, because it took them forever to fucking score, even before they scored, Sheldon was playing the fourth line a lot more than he was in game one.
Yeah, he was rolling, but it felt like the team was going. It felt like he could roll 4 lines.
Every line looked good.
I think in game one, he was trying to get something going because you could tell they were flat. They just didn't have
so flat.
Tonight, it didn't matter. You said last podcast that they took a break at the 12-minute mark, and you were like, this is garbage.
Oh, dude.
They took a break around the same time this game, around the 15-minute mark, and I thought of that clip of you saying that and just thought, what a difference.
Oh, like night and day. No,
the shots on goal were like 7-0 in the first 5.
Completely different team. They looked engaged. They controlled the pace of the play. Everything, like every aspect, I thought they looked great. Okay, here we go. First period, going in. Breaking word was coming down late, right before yesterday at practice. Same old. The lines were the same. The only difference that we thought it was going to be was a change on the fourth line, which really wasn't going to, like, is that going to factor in really that much? No. So here we go. Kiefer decides putting Mitch and Austin back together to start the game, Willie and JT, and holy hell, man. Like, they look like, what a difference. Like, was that if they would have left the lines the same as game one, would they have still played as well? Maybe they would have, but this is the lineup going forward for the rest of the series.
Oh, it has to be.
Has to be.
After the first period, the Marner-Matthews line was out shooting them 5-0, completely controlling the play. And Tavares and Nylander, they got something too. There's a little bit of chemistry between those two.
Oh, Chad, I'm going to get into JT later. Like, ridiculous game for fucking Johnny Toronto this afternoon. But anyway, like they were just, like you were saying, before the first commercial timeout, they were penetrating the slot like they haven't done in a long time. They were all over it, man. Fourth line, great first shift. Clifford gets in the game. He's banging some dude in the corner. Like you said, guy has to go to the quiet room. They look great. To start, like the opening 5, the opening 8 minutes, whatever, they controlled everything. They looked fantastic. Exactly what they needed to do. Was super stoked to see it. And unfortunately, they had nothing to show for it, but you could just tell the way they were playing. What they get? 2 power plays. Columbus, I think, took 2 penalties in the first period. Leafs we'll get into the special teams later. That's the only negative I have is the special teams, but can't score on the power plays. So they're 0 for 2 in the first period.
0 for 2, but completely controlling the play.
They did. And like,
but
let's be honest.
We were getting nervous. I was getting nervous because as they started getting more and more shots and not getting that goal, like they were pushing into 5 periods without a goal.
I know, not good.
I was thinking Columbus is going to score a garbage goal here, and it's totally going to deflate this great effort by the Leafs.
There's only one. I was thinking the same thing, but there's only really one reason why they were pushing 5 periods without a goal. You know exactly why that is.
Torts mustache?
Well, that and the guy fucking in net.
Yeah.
Because without Korpisalo, this could have been a fucking shit show today. This could have been an absolute shit show. And this could have been an ass kicking of epic proportions if it wasn't for Korpisalo. Do you not think?
Yeah.
Like,
he robbed.
A 3-0 game is kind today.
Yeah. Oh my God. It could have been 3-0 after the first 10 minutes. It could have been, this game could have ended ugly. There were some point blank shots. He stopped Matthews how many times? Like with a wicked shot. 3, 4, like point blank shots.
Fucking great, man. Like the hell of a goaltender, this guy. Like, regardless of what happens in the rest of this series, I still think the Leafs are going to, if this Leafs team continues to show up, I think the Leafs are going to win this series. But man, with the Columbus, the goaltending they have, like rookies, man. Like they look like they're going to be solid for years to come. And with Werenski and Jones, like, I don't know. Columbus they could be a scary team. They add a couple more pieces up front, and Columbus could do some serious damage in the future. But fuck Columbus. We don't give a shit about them. We want the fucking Leafs to win. They had to win this game. They went out. They did it. Anyway, they were 0 for 2 on the power play in the first. The Leafs were. Muzzin got called for high sticking late in the first. We'll get into him later too. And Columbus, same. BJs can't score on the power play either. So Leafs are 0 for 2 on the power play in the first. Columbus 0 for 1 on the power play in the first. And that was basically all she wrote. Story of the first period for me was Leafs looked awesome, totally engaged, controlled the whole fucking thing. Couldn't score a goal, unfortunately, but they kept coming. Didn't get frustrated. They kept coming. But the main takeaway from the first period is Korpisalo. That's it, really.
Yeah, he was the star. Anderson, I don't think Anderson had a shot until about the 12-minute mark.
No, I think he had 5 shots total in the first. Like,
yeah,
just anyway, Korpisalo, man.
But it's hard. It's hard when you're not getting any shots, and then you get one late into the game. Like, that's what I was worried about. I'm like, Anderson's sitting down there. He's getting cold. It's going to be a garbage goal. Didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
Yeah, after the first period, I think 2 things. Yeah, Korpisalo was unbelievable, but also the Leafs came to play.
Oh, did they ever? So, like, after the first period, kind of like you were saying, I'm thinking, okay, are they getting frustrated because they can't beat this guy? Like, what's going on? What's going through? Are they gonna come back out and keep peppering and just, they know they're all over it, keep banging away, and it's gonna go in eventually. Like, he can't stop every fucking puck. So they come out to the.
That's what she said.
That's right. Keep banging away. Keep banging away. That's what she said. So they come out for the second period, and it looked just like how they came out in the first period. All over it, controlled it right off the opening draw in the second period. Boom, boom, boom. Robertson draws a penalty couple minutes in. Leafs go back to the power play, their third power play of the game. Cannot fucking score again. 0 for 3 on the power play.
Yeah, good chances though, but
great all over it. Again, all over it. Just cannot bury it. right soon as that happened, soon as that penalty ended, or as soon as that power play ended, Robertson then takes a penalty himself and was lucky. Then now I'm thinking, okay, the Leafs are 0 for 3 on the power play. Robertson just took a penalty. Columbus is like not even in this game, but watch them pop one here on the power play.
That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking that, and because it was Robertson, and I thought he had a good power play, he had a couple sniper shots there that just didn't beat the goalie.
Kid's not shy to shoot the puck, eh?
No, but I thought, oh, here we go. Columbus is going to score. Leafs are going to get even more frustrated, and then the game just falls apart. And I think that's what Columbus was hoping was going to happen, is that the longer they could take it 0-0, the better chance they had of just pulling out a garbage win.
Yeah, I think they just didn't have it, man. Like, I mean, it's – did you hear what Torts had to say post-game?
No, but did you see him on the bench?
Oh, the F-bomb count was skyrocketing this afternoon. Skyrocketing. Losing his shit. Losing it.
It's so funny. When the Leafs were playing game one and they weren't playing that great, they would show Keefe, and he's pretty calm.
Very calm.
And doesn't really talk.
Just like Doobie. Very calm.
Then they would show Torts, and he's like screaming F-bombs into their face on the bench. Like just screaming it.
Letting them have it, which, like, deserved, because if the Leafs came with that effort, oh, man, would I have been fucking pissed. Would have been.
Could you imagine if 2 periods in, the Leafs had 9 shots on goal?
In this particular game, no, that I'd be like, pack it up, let's go home. Let's go home.
Okay, but would you be more worried if the Leafs had won game 1 and then had that kind of effort in game 2?
Yes.
Tied 1-1?
Oh, without a doubt.
So you're happier that they lost game 1 and then had this effort?
They were in game 1. They dominated game 2. Game 1 could have went either way. This game could have went either way. Yeah. This was fucking the Leafs game from start to finish.
It's what I said last game. They played into Columbus. They let Columbus dictate the play. And Columbus wants to play a slow, boring game. Toronto came out tonight and said, nope, we're going to play our game.
They penetrated those BJs hard.
They skated. Columbus can't keep up. You just keep banging away.
Like I said, the penetration from the slot was game on. They knew how to get to those BJs hard.
So are we going to get to the goal that finally snapped the 5 periods of scoreless?
I just want to go a little more on its second period. So
because I'm excited to talk about.
I know Robertson takes the penalty after he drew a penalty, but it evens itself out. Leafs kill it, so Leafs fucking end up getting a. So I think the Leafs are 0 for 3. I think at this point Columbus is 0 for 2. Leafs end up getting another fucking power play in the second period. Can't bury it again. It's 0 for 4. So many chances. Chances coming out of everywhere. Corpusalo left and right. They just can't click on the power play. Since hockey's come back, the Habs game 1, game 2, they have not scored a goal on the power play. That is troubling. That's my only negative about this whole thing. They can't bury it on the power play. But they're right there. They're right there. Anyway, again, my story of the second period so far up to this point, after team kills, no power play goals, it's still Corpusalo. I'm thinking, what the fuck? You got to beat this guy. You got to beat him. And then all of a sudden,
boom.
Boom.
I mean, let's just get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Just the Tip.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
So,
what a special moment this was. What a special moment.
I'm pretty sure when they didn't score in game 1, I'll go back and listen, but I'm pretty sure we said in the podcast that if you can't get one, you got to try a tip. Because if you're ever going to burst it open, it starts with the tip.
100%. 100% accurate. What happens? Zach Hyman coming down the wing. Kind of a 2-on-1 situation. Columbus has got a guy trailing, but he's almost back in the play. Hyman to Matthews. And what happens? Oh, boy.
Boom.
Mustache. Tips it home. Woo! Mustache. This was This was an out of nowhere tip. Didn't see it coming. It was out of nowhere. I'm thinking, oh, Carpicello, they're 2-on-1. He's probably going to save another one. Nope. Mustache tips home a Zach Hyman shot. And we've got just the tip. Oh, what a tip.
Yep.
What a tip from Mustache. There's nothing like a good mustache. Nothing like a JT tip, but there's nothing like a good mustache tip.
Oh, you kidding me? You kidding me? I tell you something, there's not too many times in my life on a Tuesday afternoon have I seen a mustache tip, but today I saw one and I was a happy fucking man.
Man, there's nothing better than a mustache tip. Nothing better than a mustache tip on a Tuesday afternoon.
I honestly jumped out of my chair.
Oh, I was fucking throwing F-bomb. I was watching the game by myself. I scared the cats to shit.
Yeah.
I was doing fist pumps and dropping F-bombs just like Torts right around the living room.
And not just because they scored. Like, I was excited they finally scored and they were up 1-0. But because it was a mustache tip on a Tuesday afternoon August.
I know. Wow.
Christmas came early this year, kid.
Holy hell, man. I can't wait for more to come from Mustache.
Yeah.
He was their best player in game one. I don't think he was their best player tonight. He was one of their best players tonight. I think JT was probably their best player. We'll get into that again after final notes, but Mustache was great again. Buries the tip. Yeah. I mean, what do you want, man? He buries the tip. Buried the tip.
The thing is, we're kind of tip-in experts. The thing about this tip is when you do a sneaky hard tip like that, it's hard to get it up.
Oh, yeah,
but
it is.
Mustache, sneaky hard tip, got it up fast, put it in.
Well, rumor has it that last night in the hub, getting ready for game 2, Mustache was taking a little peek-see at the Tip and Maple Leafs podcast recommendations. And he said, "What's that? Browsers? Okay, I'm on it, boys. Catch you tomorrow. We'll see what's up. You want to see a tip? I got one coming for you."
That's right. And just quickly, off topic from the game, while we're talking about Mustache, did you see Mustache give it to Steve Simmons?
Oh, loved it. Loved it. Steve's the balls on this fucking Steve Simmons motherfucker, right?
So
the balls on this guy.
I tried to get the clip to play it in the podcast, but
they cut it out of the Leafs.
They cut it out of the Leafs and they have it locked. So
I don't know why they did that. Leave it in. Like, Steve Simmons is a fucking dick. Leave it in. Matthews didn't even say anything bad. He just said the fucking truth.
Yeah. And they have it locked so you can't download it. So I would have had to like go back on TV and record it. And I don't like stuff like that. And even if you can find it somewhere where someone can give it to you, even if you have to pay for it, but they didn't even make it available for anything. They totally cut it out of anything. So for those,
you had to hear it like the original post game.
Yeah, there is YouTube clips where people recorded their TV. So if you want to go watch it, you can see it. But basically Steve Simmons just came on during the post game, asked Austin a question about Columbus's defense and how they plan on penetrating it the next game. And Matthews is like, well, first off, Steve, I'm really surprised to get a question from you. And basically said that the story he ran about him having COVID was he thought it was unethical. And did he even answer the question?
He did answer the question, which was incredible. But he started it out by saying, like, you're right. He's like, surprised you're even asking a question at this point, Steve. He's like, I didn't appreciate the article you wrote a couple months about me, and completely unethical and inappropriate. But moving on, he said. And then he answered the fucking guy's question. Riley was sitting beside him like, just be careful. Like, Riley's looking at him like, oh, just be cool.
In the past, like 48 hours, Matthews got to burn Steve Simmons and slap home a hard tip. That's a pretty good week so far.
Matthews is on his way to being there might be a return segment on the weekend. The goat in the cage. Oh
yeah, we'll bring that back.
Haven't seen that in a while. I already know who the cage is. It's Steve Simmons for asking that fucking question.
Yeah, or Cody Ceci. But yeah, it's
Ceci played better. Let's be honest. All
played better.
I was ragging on him. I'm like, he shouldn't be in the lineup. Sandin should be in. but CC I thought played okay.
Yeah.
The whole
Okay.
team played good.
So bring it back to the game. So past the tip, we
1-0.
it's 1-0. They
End of the second.
They finally got a goal.
Finally get on the board. It's 1-0 at the end of the second period. I thought, again, total domination by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Shots are 29-12 for the Leafs after 2. We're on the board, baby, going into the third. I'm thinking, okay, the way this game is being played, it looks like they're going to do this. Even though it was just 1 goal, it's been such a tight series. I'm like, okay, this is good. This is really good. Keep coming in the third. Keep penetrating. And you guys got this. So, want to take us to the start of the third? The main thing I noticed right off the top of the third, that's where they started showing the Torts clips on the bench before the third even started.
How are we not hearing it in the live feed?
Oh, it's very disappointing.
It's so quiet in the building, but they must have the microphones far away from the benches. Like I can hear the refs clear as day yelling, like, let go of the puck, or
they're on a delay, right? Like 5-second delay or something.
Okay, but... so because I'm like, Torts in those clips, he is screaming.
Oh, he said it.
How are we not hearing that?
They probably no. I know exactly. That's
can I
right.
buy like a pay-per-view where I get to hear Torts mic'd up?
The NHL should have ththought of that. That would have been fantastic. That would have been
just
fantastic.
Like a little mic camera on his mustache.
But Sportsnet is like replaying the Torts laying into his players montage before the third period starts, and you can't hear what he's saying, but all you can the mouthing. F this, F that. Like it's F-bomb left and fucking right.
He gets so mad.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Oh, I love it. I was just waiting for Torts to he could. You imagine the way Columbus played today? Torts, I thought he was gonna fucking blow a nut. He was just losing it. And at post game, he was he didn't want to take any questions.
He never wants to take. When they win, he doesn't want to take any questions. When they lose, he doesn't want to take any questions.
He's like, we played
pre-game. He doesn't want to take any questions.
I literally think his post game was, we played terrible. Leafs played great. See you Thursday. That's a Babcock thing too, eh?
Yeah, but for some reason, when Torts does it, I kind of like it.
Yeah,
Babs never really did stuff like that. He'd do short interviews, but he never walked out and said, the fuck can I tell you?
No, he always made sure when Babcock left his pressers, it's not my fault. They shit the bed, not me.
Or it's Dubas's fault.
Yeah,
you can
anybody but Babcock.
You can only work with the players that you're given.
But at least Torts says we. Torts is we played terrible. Leafs played great. See you Thursday. That's it.
I love it.
And he's out there. Then he flipped the fucking media desk over. Ran out the door.
Ripped his shirt open.
More F-bombs.
He has the hairiest chest I've ever seen. He ripped his shirt open.
Yeah.
Poured some water on his face and then got out of there. So we go into the third period.
Yep.
Exactly. I said this during the second intermission. Columbus has to open it up. And when Columbus opens it up, they start pinching. And
they started the third by taking another penalty.
Yeah, because they were playing, they do not know how to play aggressive. It's really funny to watch. There was 2-on-1s and breakaways. They were taking penalties. It's hilarious. Once they're deep pinch and they cough up the puck, they look at each other like, uh-oh, all 5 of us aren't back on the blue line. What do we do?
Yeah.
So it's great. If you can get a 2-goal lead on this team.
Oh, man, that looked like a very beatable team tonight. You're going to get a better Columbus effort on Thursday. The Leafs are going to be in tough. But
and the Leafs can't come in thinking that they're just going to fucking walk all over them.
No, not at all. But if the Leafs can just get their shit together and start playing like this on a more regular basis, they should take the Blue Jackets for fucking fun, in my opinion. But we'll see. Hey, they did something Tampa couldn't do last year. Win a fucking game.
There you go. And Jeff O'Neill said it after game 1. He's like, if I play for the Leafs, I'm looking at myself, looking at the other guys in the dressing room, being like, if we can't beat this team, who can we beat in this playoffs? Are we going to beat a Boston? Are we going to beat a Philly? Are we going to beat a Washington if we can't get by Columbus?
I think, here's the thing. I think Columbus is as difficult. Okay, offensively, they don't have the firepower of some of those other teams, but I think they're as difficult to play as some of those other teams.
as difficult, yeah. But if you can't beat them, then you really
I
you
get your point.
You don't deserve to move on.
No, I get what you're saying.
Which you won't. But like last year, they lost to Boston, but you can make the case that Toronto deserved to be in the second round. They were better than a lot of the teams.
They should have beat them. They should have beat them.
But if they don't get by Columbus, they don't deserve to be in the next round.
I agree. I hope that they've learned their lesson, and I think that honestly, I just have a feeling like I think the Leafs are on their way to victory here. Even though they dropped game one and it was they would have not.
But like you say, they could have won it.
I know. If they didn't show up with the effort they had today, I would have been like, it's over. Good night. Good night, Irene. This puppy is done. But they showed me something today that I'm like, okay, maybe these guys are figuring it out. Maybe they can maybe they can do something that we all want them to fucking do so desperately bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, power play again, like Columbus starts the third, taking another penalty. Leafs, their fifth power play of the game. Didn't score again. 0 for 5 on the power play. Just cannot bury it on the power play. But then almost immediately after the power play ended, our boy, possibly the player other than Korpisalo, I think the best Leaf on the ice tonight, Johnny Toronto, gets a breakaway. The 15-minute mark of the third period. Buries it. Makes no mistake. He buries it. The Leafs go up 2-0 from a breakaway goal from Johnny Toronto, and I start losing my shit.
Did you really lose your shit?
I was like, in this game, 2-0? I'm like, yeah man. Fucking right.
It took like pressure off. You're like,
you don't want a 1-goal game going like, no, 2 goals. I'm like, yeah, man, this is good. This is a good sign. The way they've been, they were relentless. They were relentless the entire fucking game, and he was all over it all night. He was all over it.
JT deserved that breakaway and deserved that goal.
I didn't watch a lot of, how many times did the Islanders make the playoffs when he was there? Like only a couple, right?
I think once.
So like twice. He doesn't have a ton of playoff experience in the NHL. I don't know, and I didn't really watch Islanders games when they did make the playoffs. So I don't know. This was by a mile the best fucking playoffs game he's played for the Leafs. It might be the best playoff game he's ever fucking played. He was like, get on my back. I'm doing this. Like, let's go. Which is awesome. Like such a good fucking sign. Him and Matthews going, yes, please.
Did you see him before the game walk through the Bruins?
I did. That was awesome. Dodging and weaving through they were like getting ready to go on the ice.
Bruins do that, like those handshake things, like they fist bump and bump chests and stuff before the game, getting psyched up. So the camera's on the Bruins as they're getting psyched up to take the ice. And here comes this dude. Let's remember, there's no dress code, but JT still wears suit pants and a dress shirt.
He's just total professional, right?
Where you had, I believe Marner showed up in a Mickey Mouse t-shirt and a pair of shorts. Like, seriously, that's what he wore.
That's probably the age difference, too, though.
So, JT, you just see this guy in the suit walking through with the mask on and a coffee in his hand. JT just bobbing and weaving through Boston as they're doing their hip. He was
working on his deeks before the game even started.
Yeah, he was ready. It didn't even faze him. He was just like, get the fuck out of my way. I got to win a game today.
Yeah, he's like, I'm coming for you fuckers next. Look out. Look out. Speaking of Boston, they're on their way to not finishing first in the round robin.
They lost to Philly.
Yeah. Have they played again since? I don't know. I don't think they have.
No.
But
they'd have to win. They basically have to win.
They only play 3 games. You got to win the next 2, or they're not going to finish first. So it could this is the crazy thing about it. And it's like, who would you rather have? Like, not looking past Columbus, because I know there's a lot of hockey left here, but like if it is like Carter Hart played great in that game for the Philadelphia Flyers, but it's almost like pick your poison. Those 4 teams are great. I kind of would like Philly, Tampa. I'd rather get one of those 2 than Boston or Tampa Bay. But actually, the way the Bruins have looked, maybe I wouldn't mind playing the Bruins right now. They haven't exactly looked like the same team that they were before this whole thing went down.
Yeah, it's I don't know. A part of me kind of feels like you have to slay the dragon. Isn't that the old saying? You have to slay a few dragons before you get to the queen or the princess.
Well, dude, and if they get by Columbus, they're going to be playing a good team no matter what.
I know, but
what.
I feel like it's got to be the Bruins.
I don't think it's going to be. I don't know.
Wouldn't it be the case that the Bruins, who were basically head and shoulders going to win the President's Trophy this year, lose in this round robin and get the Leafs?
But here's what's going to happen. If Columbus loses this series, the Leafs get past the Blue Jackets, and Boston loses their next game.
Oh, that's right.
Boston will not be the number 1 seed.
Leafs get the number 1 seed?
That's right. No matter what, the winner of this series gets the number 1 seed. If Boston loses their next round robin game, 100%, no matter what, they will not get the number 1 seed. No. So then you're looking at Washington, Tampa, or Philly.
Yeah, and even if they go into shootouts, right, in this qualifying round. So if they lose in a shootout, they would still get 1 point.
I don't know. They already lost their game in not a shootout. I think they lost it in regulation. So
they did, yeah. But if they lose in a shootout, they would still get a point the next game. But that still wouldn't be enough.
No,
like they've got to win.
Yeah, they need to win.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the Leafs game. So just special teams. Like Columbus didn't score on the power play. Leafs didn't score on the power play. Basically. So as time's winding down, JT scores 2-0 on the breakaway goal. As time is winding down, the Leafs get another penalty late in the third period. Kapanen, to me, which the replays, like I didn't see it, like I didn't catch it as the game was going on. But what the Sportsnet replays were playing back looked like a fucking bogus call to me. Late in the game, that call, whatever the cameras picked up, whatever Sportsnet was showing, it looked like they called that penalty to try to get Columbus back in that game. It looked like there was no penalty on that play, in my personal opinion. Do you agree with that or no? Yeah,
it was a soft call. It was definitely a soft call. Whether it was a no call, I don't know, but it was definitely a soft call. I know it's not technically the playoffs, it's the play-in.
Well, they're calling it the Stanley Cup playoffs right now.
But it's the playoffs.
Like these count as playoff stats.
You wouldn't normally see that called in the playoffs. Even some of the penalties called in the first 2 periods, you normally wouldn't see called in the playoffs. Some of those interference calls where it's a little just a little grab.
Leafs had 5 power plays. Columbus had 3.
The refs were calling everything.
What the hell? Anyway,
it's funny Columbus even got 3 because if you don't have the puck, how do you draw a penalty? And the Leafs basically 90% of the time had the puck on their stick. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they thought, we need to give Columbus one here just to even things up a little bit.
Well, here's what I would say about this is the worst thing. Okay, so they were on their way to killing the penalty anyway. But in my opinion, what should have been a non-call, at least I didn't catch it, and what the replay showed, I didn't fucking see it. All of a sudden, the result of that leads to Jake Muzzin getting fucking carried out on a stretcher.
Yep.
Precautionary? I fucking hope so. Because he was moving, It looked like he probably could have get up, but they told him to kind of stay down. We're going to do it like
the Leafs did post an update on Jake Muzzin. He was transported to the Toronto hospital. He has full motion and full feeling in all his limbs and everything like that. It was precautionary, but they're going to give updates later, and he's going to stay there.
Stay in the hospital?
He's going to stay there just for a little while longer, and then the Leafs will have more updates.
Okay, I mean, neck injury probably is what it looked like because his head kind of hit the defenseman or the guy's knee.
Didn't it look like kind of a nothing play?
It looked like a nothing play, but his head kind of went in awkwardly to the Columbus player's knee. So, I don't know. They were talking about a stinger or whatever, but you got to look out for those stingers. But hopefully he's okay. But he's out of the hub now. He's out of the bubble. What does that mean? Even if he wanted to play, even if he was good to go for Thursday, because now he's had to leave the bubble, he wouldn't be eligible anyway. He probably doesn't play Thursday night. And that's going to fucking hurt them because he's their best defensive defenseman.
Yeah, well, now
it's a big loss. It's a big fucking loss.
Now it's time for Rasmus Sandin to step in.
Well, I don't even think he's the guy that's going to get the call.
You think it's Marinson? Fuck.
I hope not.
Maybe Muzzin will play. I don't know if you have to isolate or anything just for going to the hospital. He's going to get tested for COVID again before Thursday. So,
You think he's going to be in the lineup Thursday? I don't see it. Unless that was just all like really like protocol, like had to be done that way. Like they didn't not taking any chances, but he was like, he could have got up and like went to the bench and been fine and kept playing. Like, I don't know, man. Is there something more to this? Is he going to feel worse tomorrow? Like, I guess it remains to be seen, but
I think you're right. I think it was one of those things. I think he laid on the ice and he maybe had a stinger and maybe he's like, oh, I feel numb or something. And the doctors were just like, okay, we're going to bring the stretcher out, precautionary. You've got to go and be tested. Don't move. Because if it is a neck injury, the worst thing you can do is be like, get up.
Well, no, of course.
So.
And you could see him doing, like, the YouTube people will see this. The other people listening on other devices will not, but you could see him doing this with his hands, right? He's squeezing his hands, like.
So for those listening on a podcast, it looks like
his hands?
It looks like Dale squeezing a pair of titties.
Grab him. They were like, "Where are the boobies, Muzzy? Where are the boobies? Show us the boobies.
Show us little ones.
And he was
show us big ones.
Whether he was doing that on purpose, or they were asking him to.
All right, you can put your hands down now.
But anyway, the Muzz has seen his way around a pair of tits before. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
He knows what it's like to get the tits lit.
Yeah, it should have asked him to do something else because even if he didn't have feelings in his hands, he probably still could do that. It's just
like second nature for Muzz.
Yeah. Just
do it in his sleep.
Subconsciously, he's just so.
Muzz, where's the tip? Where's the tip?
Right here.
Muzz, where is it? Show us with your other hand. Where's the tip? Let us know
there
where that tip's at. Muzz, get the tip out. No, we're not making light of the situation because he's fine. Like, you could tell on the ice that he was fine. It looked precautionary, did it not? Like,
he may be injured, but he's not.
He's not, like, seriously injured.
Yeah, no, he's not seriously injured. He has all movement in his body. And Muzzin's he's a tough son of a bitch.
Especially the tip.
Yeah. He'll be back. Hopefully he's back for Thursday. But like you say, it's a different world we live in.
If he's not, Sandin, they just seem reluctant to go with Sandin right now. But Marincin, man, my goodness, I don't know. Like, I don't want to see. The way the Leafs were like all offense today. They played well defensively too, but I fucking know without a doubt in my mind that Rasmus Sandin will help. If Muzzin can't go, Rasmus Sandin will help them more on Thursday night than Martin Marincin. Without a doubt in my mind.
Yeah. Especially if you play like you did tonight, because tonight
was offense.
Tonight wasn't about the defensemen blocking shots and stuff like that. It was who can turn around and move the puck quick. And guess who can do that better than Marty Marincin? Rasmus Sandin.
Big time. So we're pulling for you, Muzz. We hope you'll be back in on Thursday because, man, dude, Thursday, Friday, we're guaranteed 2 more games. This is for sure going 4, and it might be going 5.
Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Yep, Thursday at 8, and then 2 be determined Friday. But I can't see them having them play at 8 on Thursday and then afternoon on Friday. Can you? It's probably going to be 8 and 8. Do you not think?
Yeah, I thought they would play afternoon on Thursday and then 8 on Friday.
That would make more sense. But since they're doing 8 on Thursday, I'm sure it's got to be. You got to give them. I don't know. Maybe not, but
there's no travel, right?
I know, true, but you just think that we'll see what happens. I imagine it's going to be 8 on Thursday, 8 on Friday. It might not be, but you think this is going 5, or you think they can win the next 2?
Oh, I think they can win if they play like they did today. Yeah, I think they can win the next 2.
If they win, yeah, they win.
If the goaltending stays the way it's been. It could be close, man. It could be close.
Like, Fred's been there when he's needed to as well. Like, I don't want to. Like,
yeah, Freddie's let him 1 goal.
Yeah, like this series hasn't been about Freddie Anderson because Columbus doesn't have the offense like the Leafs do. But Fred's played well when he's needed to make. Other than that one mishap, Fred's made the saves he's needed to make. Got a shutout today. He let in 1 goal yesterday. Like, I mean, it's the goalie. Both goalies have been good. Freddie hasn't been as tested.
What I'm saying is if Carpuscello is playing the way he's playing and the Leafs are, if it's 0-0 again in game 3 in 2 periods and Leafs are out shooting them 30-10 again, I'm going to be worried. I'm just going to be worried like I was today that Columbus is going to get a garbage goal and steal a game they don't deserve to win. But at the same time, will I take that every day of the week, having the Leafs play like they did today? Yeah. So bring it on.
Okay, so
but like you say, Torts' BJs are not going to come out and look like that again.
No, there'll be no BJs for Torts. I think this puppy's going Kiefer's Leafs way.
No, but I mean, Torts' BJs won't come out and look like shit again.
Oh, no, sorry. That's right. No, the BJs will be – sorry, I misread that. The BJs will be in action on Thursday night. I can't.
They're not going to come out and lay an egg again.
No, I can't see that happening. Or maybe they just maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say maybe they're we aren't as good as these guys because I don't think they have that mentality. But the Leafs are a better team, in my opinion. They're a better team and they should win this series. Team. So play like that and you're going to win this series. So whatever you need to do tonight, team meal, feel good about yourselves. Hopefully Muzz is okay. He comes back to the hub or whatever the case. Practice tomorrow. Get ready for Thursday. Back-to-back Thursday, Friday. Just be feeling good about yourself. Columbus right now probably feels like garbage. But Columbus probably feels worse about themselves after Game 2 than the Leafs felt about themselves after Game 1.
For sure. Like you say, Game 1 was a bounce. Leafs get a goal off somebody's ass or something like that, they could win that game. Today, Columbus flat out lost that game.
Oh, dude, they got their ass kicked. They were going back to the hub being Jesus.
This wasn't –
what the hell just happened there?
Yeah, this wasn't where, we were close, but Toronto got the first goal. That's how Game 1 went.
They weren't even in it.
It was anybody's game, and Columbus scored first. They weren't they weren't in it at all.
No, they weren't.
It was terrible. Well, okay, I don't even know what the final shots on goal were.
I don't know.
Do you have that?
No, I don't. But I think it was doubled up. I think it was maybe 40-20. It was something like that. It was
I think they got less than 20.
So they literally doubled them up in shots, which is insane. But anyway, so Riley, and so put a finishing touches on today's game. Riley ends up putting it in the empty net after they killed another penalty. BJ's go 0 for 4 after that Kapanen fucking penalty where Muzzin went down. So Riley scores the empty netter, icing on the cake. She's all over, and the Leafs win it 3-0. Series is tied 1-1 going into Thursday night at 8 p.m. Main takeaways from the game. Just a couple main points
from today.
Yeah, from today.
We talked about in podcast 1. You even posted to social media about this, about the big guns not showing up. The big guns showed up. JT came to play. Marner came to play. Nylander came to play. Matthews, he came to play.
I agree. I just want to put the emphasis on JT because I think he was the best before.
Yeah,
Matthews was great, but I thought JT was all
JT was a bulldog. Also, they responded. That's a huge thing. That was a very, very, not a devastating loss, but a frustrating loss. It's very easy to lose that game and be like, luck's just not on our side. And, fuck that. They came out and said, you know what, we're going to win this game. And they showed us the team that we've seen so few this year. They've done this so many times this year. Remember this game? I think the last game they played was a 2-1 win against Tampa. Do you remember that? They lost the West Coast trip, and everyone's like, you can't even beat Anaheim. You can't even beat San Jose. And then this fucking team shows up that gets on loose pucks, that dominates the skate and beats the Tampa Bay Lightning 2-1. And you're like, where is this team night after night? That was the team that showed up today.
They came back home after a Western road trip where they did not look good in California. It was their first game back. Typically, teams do not play well their first game back at home after a road trip like that. It was Riley's first game in 2 months, and they beat Tampa. They've played really well against Tampa all season. So
I know, but where is this team night after night? I know you can't show up every night, but can you be like a Boston and show up 80% of the time?
What we saw today, if we could get that 75% of the time, it doesn't even have to be 100%. Just get 70%, 75% of that.
75% of that could win you the President's Trophy.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. It doesn't even need to be that good every night. Yeah. 75% of that every night, you're going to beat most teams in this league.
When I watch that team play, that's when I get frustrated that if you go back to when the season was on, we were fighting with the Florida Panthers for a playoff spot.
I know.
Because I'm like, when this team shows what it can be, it's up there with the Boston Bruins. The Leafs are up there with the Tampa Bay Lightning. But here we are swimming in the mud with the Columbus and the Floridas who are just trying to make the playoffs. Like, come on.
I think it's all good, though, in this scenario, because if the Leafs win, like all those other teams are kind of like, I don't even know if they care this 1 through 4 seeding. I honestly don't know if they care, to be honest.
No,
so
they just don't want to get hurt.
I think who wins these qualifiers are going to have a major advantage going into the first round of best of 7. Major advantage. If Toronto takes out Columbus in, like, let's say they win the next 2 in a row, or to even take it in 5 games, I think they're going to have an advantage no matter which one of those 4 teams they play. Not Washington. Washington, I want to play the least. I don't really want to play Washington. The other 3, I could deal with. I don't want to play the Caps.
Well, we got to beat Columbus first.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So game 3 is Thursday night, 8:00. Game 4 on Friday. I think we'll probably do a podcast on Friday.
Yeah, let's let them both go.
Let them both go, and then we'll recap both games because it's a Friday night, so we can just stay up. We'll do like an 8-hour podcast. We'll stay up till the morning drinking and recording podcasts.
It's going to be a doozy because I might not have slept from the night before, so it might just be a full-on bender from game 3 and 4.
If I get a Thursday night mustache tip-in following a Tuesday afternoon mustache tip-in, I mean, yeah, I may stay up all night. I may just head on down to Thursdays and just let her rip.
Without a doubt. So that now brings us to our good doctor. Right in the hub. Oh yeah, man. He's been leaving me a couple random updates all day long. Things are getting chaotic down there. He's in the hub. He is 100% now. It's confirmed.
Okay, just for the record,
he's in the hub.
Dr. Andy also messaged me, and he is upset that you are not calling him back from these voicemails. And I
didn't think he had time. He's too busy.
Well, he told me, he said that he would not like these played. So if you play them, that's on you. That's on you.
He's never any of the voicemails he's left for us, he's never once asked us to return the call. He's too busy. He never says, please call me back. He always says, I'll get back to you, boys, with further updates, further tips. Well, here's what's up tonight with Dr. Andy. In the hub, it's now time for tips from Dr. Andy.
I'm hearing breaking news. If you guys want a huge round tip, Jerry Bettman and the league has decided to put up glory holes in the team's locker room, so just the tips go through. So if you want a lot of tips, there's a lot of tips going through that tip. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.
I'll be honest with you, that didn't make any sense whatsoever.
See what I'm saying? Oh, you know what? I think I might have cut off the first part of it. Maybe I should replay that again.
No, don't replay it. Play the next one.
I might have missed the first part of it, but what I am getting from that is that he has talked to Jerry Bettman, I think, and he's saying that they're putting up glory holes in the dressing rooms just to be safe. Is that what that was?
Well, I guess with COVID, I don't know.
Dr. Andy seems to have his finger on the pulse of this glory hole situation.
Dale, I don't know how to tell you this, but I am like 100% sure Dr. Andy is, 1, not a doctor, and 2, not in the hub.
Oh, what? Excuse me? Oh, my goodness. What's this? Oh, my goodness. Dr. Andy has had, apparently, I think there might be a Tortorella situation happening as we speak, or this may have went down earlier today before the game. A confrontation. We better find out what this is all about.
Dr. Andy here again. How's it going, Chad and Dales? Some breaking news. Here's a nice little tip. I was about to give Torts his COVID test. he just told me to get the fuck out of here, no questions. But I asked him anyway, how is the tip? So I thought it'd be nice saying that. But then as I was leaving, he said, good to see me. So don't know what's going on with Torch right now. He doesn't seem happy. So I'll get back to you guys and let you know further. All right, bye.
He's right in. Apparently, he's testing, or he attempted to test Torts, and Torts told him to get the fuck out of there.
That one is the first thing he said that kind of sounds believable. Because I think if Dr. Andy came anywhere near Torts would be like, get the fuck out of here.
Torts would say that to anybody. Anybody. But some random dude in the hub comes up saying he's a doctor, wanting to give the COVID test, and asking how his tip is. Torts might be like...
We should ask Dr. Andy how the COVID test is given, because I bet he has no idea how a COVID test is.
Well, I can't say this for sure, but I'm pretty sure he checks out the COVID situation through the tip.
Okay, he left me a voicemail. Excuse me. He left me a voicemail. And I don't know if you got the same voicemail, but Dr. Andy, he says he's in the hub, but it sounds like he's in a strip club.
No, please, no, don't do it. Don't do it.
Hey, Chad and Dale, it's really loud down here. I'm in a club down in the hub. I have a huge tip for you guys. A new study shows that COVID comes from rats, not bats. A test was done on a rat named Marchand. So now it's through rats, not bats. I'll get back to you guys with more. All right, bye.
See, now I'm thinking he's legit because he mentioned last time on his introduction to the podcast that he had a thing going with Marchand about testing positive for COVID. So apparently rats are the cause and not bats, including Marchand. I think the whole thing is spreading through the hub through Marchand, even though they have 0 positive cases.
Like I said last podcast, I am 100% positive that this is a guy sitting front row at Brass Rail, calling, leaving us voicemails.
Well, that definitely sounded like it there.
Not a doctor.
That sounded like he might be out of the hub in the Brass Rail.
Oh. Well, do you have any more Dr. Andy clips before we wrap this puppy up?
I'm just getting a quick confirmation. I'm just trying to see if this is this. Okay, well, this one sounds like he might be out of the Brass Rail, back in the hub. This one's going to take a turn. I don't know.
Chad and Dales, how's it going? Dr. Andy here. This will be a quick tip. I'm in the hub right now. Shit is getting crazy, hectic down here. Tips flying everywhere. I am tip deep in a glory hole right now, so I will have to get back to you. I can't really hear you guys, so I'll get back to you with some more tips. Goodbye.
He's back in the hub, man. He may have bounced from the hub, partied it up at the Brass Rail. Now he's back at the hub, and he's tip deep.
Okay,
he's tip deep now.
One last clip here. So he had been drinking at the.
He left you another. How he's leaving us both random. What this is?
Honest to God, I don't even know Dr. Andy. You're the one who has contacted him.
Well, he's got your number. I didn't give him your number.
So he sent me an email, and he says, it's 4:30 in the morning. Dr. Andy emails me and says, Dale never called me back. And I didn't know you guys had this thing that he was too busy. So
he never asked me. He's never asked me to call. He just leaves me these updates, dude.
He left me this voicemail for you specifically at 4:30 in the morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Chad, how's it going? I was just wondering if you could give Daly a little tip for him to go get his sandy, crusty vagina looked at. So that'd be great. Thanks. Bye.
Oh, no wonder he didn't leave me that one. I guess he's trying to pull a fast one on that one.
Well, apparently he was a little disappointed because You talked about him going into gynecology, and he's not actually going into gynecology.
Oh, okay, well, that remains to be seen. I've heard otherwise.
So that is tips with Dr. Andy.
Tips from Dr. Andy. The best doctor you can find for absolutely free.
Yeah. There you go.
We spare no expense on the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast.
There you
Give us a little plug. Dr. Andy, thanks a lot. Thanks a pant load.
If you haven't tuned out yet, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at the Tip In Maple Leafs Podcast, on Twitter at the Tip In Podcast, YouTube at the Tip In Maple Leafs Podcast. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment. Also, like, review, rate, whatever you want, wherever you get your podcast from. We'd love to hear from you. Just, yeah. We're bumping up our social media game. We're bumping up our YouTube game. So give us a like, give us a subscribe. It really helps us out to follow us on these platforms.
Stay tuned to YouTube for not only
we posted it already.
Not only our podcast, but also Tips from the Hub with Dr. Andy will also be making an appearance, especially just special clips of just Dr. Andy, tips from Dr. Andy on YouTube. So, Chad doesn't think he's in the hub. I think he is. He's pissed at me. He's leaving Chad drunk voicemails at 4:30 in the morning. I don't know what's going on with this guy, but apparently he's getting told to fuck off by Tortorella. He's saying Marchand has COVID-19. We don't know what's going on down there, but hey, dude, when you're paying for absolutely no money for a doctor, like I said, this is the best we can get.
There you go. All right. Well, for the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, we will be back on Friday night.
Yeah. Okay. So for sure, not Thursday. Even if they win, or win or loss, we're just gonna wait till both these games happen. Go Friday night.
Yeah, we'll wait till both happen. We'll go Friday night. It's at 8, so
all right.
We wouldn't get the podcast posted until Friday morning, and then they could play at noon on Friday, and we'd have another one posted Friday afternoon.
That's very unlikely. Go from the late game to the first game. I don't think that's...
Not the first game, but still, we'd be doing 2 podcasts. We'd have 2 podcasts posted.
Yeah,
we might as well combine them into one, and we could be talking about a Leafs series win.
Could be all over after Friday night.
Could be all over after
one way or the other. One way or the other.
Yeah, or we could be going Sunday.
One thing I know for sure is that we will have more tips regardless. More tips coming.
Yeah.
I feel like these tips are just going to get harder and harder.
You mean tips like mustaches tip?
I mean every kind of tip you can imagine. Doctor tips, mustache tips, dirty tips, greasy tips.
Whatever you got.
Sweet tips, whatever beautiful tips, delicious tips.
Whatever you got. Our buddy Stu in Ireland.
Ireland.
I gotta read it. Hopefully he doesn't mind, but he left a nice comment for us about tips. He said, "It's like the Blue Jackets didn't like." I talked about Matthews' tip. This is about Matthews' tip. He's like, "It's like the Blue Jackets didn't like the tip deep inside."
Oh, they did not.
That's pretty good, Stu.
Pretty good, Stu. Call in. We'll get you on.
Yeah, call in.
Times. We'll get you.
We'll talk about the Belfast Giants.
You know any doctors out there?
We only know one.
We're looking for a good free one.
I wouldn't take anybody to him. Anyway, for the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
Leafs tie the series 1-1, 3-0 win over Columbus, and we will be back on Friday. And until then,
go Leafs, go, and we will catch you
later.
Later.